So, hello everyone. I think it is 2 minutes past 4, and we will start off with the lesson. So, today is our first virtual assistant meeting, and to begin with, I will do a very quick introduction. Then I will cover a few uh, housekeeping rules. Then we'll cover four main areas about virtual assistant. We will first learn who is a virtual assistant. Then we will look at the value of virtual assistant. Then number 3, we will learn about the different types of virtual assistant. Then if time allows, we'll look at the skills. Then to wrap it up, we'll have a small project that will accompany this first lesson on virtual assistant. So to begin with, my name's Hilary Wills. I'm Kenyan, and I speak 3 languages, and I'm also a virtual assistant. So I'll be your instructor during this course on virtual assistant. So the main aim of this particular course is to equip you with hands-on skills that you need as a virtual assistant, or the skills that you need to succeed in this industry. Virtual assistant is a rapidly growing industry, and there are so many things that are changing every day. So it is better you keep yourself updated with the skills, the tools that people are using outside there to become effective virtual assistants. So I don't want to go too much into the introduction. I want to welcome each and every one of us who has made it to the first meeting. Congratulations, Rahab. I can see Rahab is in our meeting. We have Mary. Then we have Letitia. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. Then we have Whitney. Then we have the latest one who has joined us. Let me see the name. Anyway, welcome all to this meeting. So I will move to the basic rules of the group. Now, this is a group that is specifically dedicated for virtual assistants, and it's an educational group. So we will have the opportunity to interact with one another. That's why I've put open some of the features of the WhatsApp group, so that you guys can have the chance to interact with one another. You can ask questions that are relevant to virtual assistant. You can discuss issues that are affecting virtual assistants, and anything that is related to this industry. So whenever you are holding discussions, always be courteous, be respectful. There should be no cursing, using those bad languages, or we call them foul language. So avoid using such language. Then we do not want to see promotions and such like things on the WhatsApp group. So let's keep it clean, and maybe in future, as the group continues to grow, as the community will be growing, we'll identify a few people who will be doing the moderation, just to keep the house clean. Yeah, so I don't want to go too much into the rules. So the first thing that I want to cover is, who is a virtual assistant? Perhaps you've heard about the word virtual assistant, and we can break it down into two. We have virtual, then the second one is assistant. So when we define these terms, virtual means, I can say, online or remote. Then assistant is someone who assists to carry out tasks. So a virtual assistant is anybody who works remotely and helps to complete tasks. So according to my notes, a virtual assistant is someone who offers remote support to a business. The support can also be to an entrepreneur, or it can be to an organization. So mark the two words: virtual, support. So the work of a virtual assistant is not just providing support, but the main aim is to help or solve problems that a client is going through. So the core idea of a virtual assistant is actually to solve some of the headaches. You can be a business person. Let's say you are running a business. You are running a business like drop shipping, or you have a Shopify store. You have an Etsy store. You can be having a headache of maybe marketing. You have a problem to create content. You have a problem answering all your customers. A virtual assistant will come in and help you solve that problem. So number one thing you should note down is that a virtual assistant is a problem solver. Number two, a virtual assistant helps the client to save time. A client has time, and there are so many things that someone like a CEO is supposed to be doing. A CEO is supposed to be in meetings. A CEO is supposed to be cutting deals with other CEOs or other businesses. But a CEO is not supposed to be doing some things like checking emails or scheduling posts on social media or responding to comments on social media. So a virtual assistant will come in and help to save time. And as the saying goes, time is money. If you look at the value of a CEO or an executive of a company, somebody like a marketing manager or a sales manager, their time value is higher than the junior employees. Perhaps a senior employee would have, like, his 1 hour is worth maybe 100 or $500. But we have junior employees whose time value is maybe $10 to $15 an hour. So number two is saving time. So you are not just going to be an assistant if you choose this path of becoming a virtual assistant. You are a remote partner. You should be considering yourself as a remote partner, someone who brings value. And we talk about value in terms of saving time and saving costs. when you become a virtual assistant, when you are helping a CEO, whatever tasks that you are going to do, if it's social media management, if it's managing a calendar, if it's doing research, that particular CEO is supposed to pay for that time or those tasks to be completed. They may be being done by a digital marketing agency, and digital marketing agencies are not cheap. They charge huge amounts of money. For example, doing a task like search engine optimization, you will find guys charging as much as $1,000, $5,000, and that is a lot of money. But a virtual assistant will do the same thing and maybe earn something like $10 an hour. So you always remember that you are going to provide value, and you are going to be a reliable person who has the necessary skills. For you to provide the services of a virtual assistant, you must have the necessary skills. You must be able to communicate effectively with the client. So let us look at some of the tasks that a virtual assistant handles. So number one task is email. When it comes to email, a virtual assistant is useful in managing inboxes. A virtual assistant will play a role in scheduling meetings. A virtual assistant will also help in doing data entry. A virtual assistant will also help in calendar management or calendar organization. And we also have others like conducting research, which can be informative or data-driven research. A virtual assistant will also help in things like project management. A virtual assistant will help in travel management. So we will be looking at all those types of tasks as we progress with this training. So clients, where are they from? Now, for all the successful virtual assistants that I've ever come across, and in my own experience, the best clients come from developed countries. Countries with a higher purchasing power. Talk about UK, United States, Australia, Germany, France, Italy. Those are developed countries where the value for their money is high. And the core concept about a virtual assistant is it's all about outsourcing. Okay, so get that point that clients who are looking for virtual assistants, they want people who are affordable and people who can be trusted with small tasks of their plate. So there we've talked about the tasks. Now we can move to the types. Okay, the different types of virtual assistant. So number one, we have the administrative virtual assistant, someone who does things like email management, scheduling meetings. You can imagine in an office, maybe a secretary is the one who does that work. And the advantage of virtual assistant is that you don't have to commute to work. You don't have to be paid the huge salaries. You don't have to be paid for maybe your health insurance and so on. So those particular benefits that come to the physical, those employees, those guys who are employed the 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 jobs, they eliminate those things. And that's why it is much easier to work with someone who is working from the comfort of their home. Number two, we have what we call the social media VA. Social media VA, these are the guys who do social media management. And social media management is a wide area. We have guys who have specialized on Facebook, creating content on Facebook, running Facebook ads, doing data analysis on Facebook, doing what we call customer service or moderation on Facebook. Then we have these other social media sites like TikTok. We have guys who are specialized to do content creation on TikTok. We have guys who can do data analysis on TikTok and so many other things. Scheduling posts on TikTok. All that work is done by virtual assistants. Then we have the technical guys, the technical virtual assistants. These are the guys who do the technical work like search engine optimization, sorry for the disruption. Those are the challenges of working from home. So the technical guys are the guys who do things like web development. They can do search engine optimization. They can help you in maybe the security of your website and so on. Then number 4, we have the e-commerce virtual assistants. E-commerce virtual assistants are the guys who are working with people who own or who operate businesses like drop shipping. The guys who have Shopify stores, the guys who have businesses on Amazon stores. So those are the guys who are doing or they are providing support for e-commerce. E-commerce simply means online business, and a virtual assistant will help in doing tasks. I will just mention a few of them, like listing products. Let's say someone has a Amazon store. You want a virtual assistant who can help you in listing things like power banks, microphones. Those are the products we are talking about. So to do that work, you need to have knowledge of what is a product listing, how do you track orders, how do you provide customer support. For example, when somebody complains about drop shipping and their customers are complaining about the delivery time, somebody ordered a power bank or a phone and they are complaining, they go online complaining about the quality of service. A virtual assistant can be a useful resource. A virtual assistant will also help in inventory updates, updating the inventory on those online stores. So there are so many things to do on e-commerce. Then the next one, I think, is executive or specialized virtual assistants. Now these guys, they offer what we call high-level professional support to executive and industries. I will give an example. An executive would be maybe a real estate company or a CEO of a real estate company. So a virtual assistant will help in doing tasks that are related to real estate. Then we have medical VS. These are VAs who work with the physicians, they work with the doctors, they work with the registered nurses, they work with clinicians. Okay, and this one is more lucrative because of the nature of the medical field. We also have legal virtual assistants. They work with the attorneys, they work with the magistrates, they work with the lawyers, advocates. For example, these are the guys who can help in summarizing articles, doing informative research, translating documents. Maybe you are translating a document from French or Germany to English. Then you have financial VAs. Financial VAs work with the financial advisors, and they play a very important role in maybe data collection, summarizing reports, and so on. Then lastly, under the executive virtual assistants, we have people who work with the human resource. Human resource VAs are also wide. We have guys who are useful in posting job adverts. They play a role in recruitment and selection of employees. They also help in performance management. These are the guys who can help in maybe designing questionnaires, administering questionnaires to maybe employees. They can also play a role in training. So I think those are the main types of virtual assistants that we can cover during this first meeting. Then before I conclude, I would like to talk about the key skills. The key skills that a virtual assistant needs. So the first skill is communication. A virtual assistant, as I have said, you are someone who is going to be interacting with people who are not in your country. You are going to be working with clients who are in the US. You are working with clients who are in Australia. So it means your interactions are virtual or remote. So communication is one of the most important skill that you need as a virtual assistant. You need to learn how do you communicate with these people. You are not going to communicate with these guys in Kiswahili, not unless you found a virtual assistant who speaks the same language with you. You have to be proficient. You have to learn how to be proficient both in written and spoken English. Okay. For me, when I started doing virtual assistant work, I found it was a bit challenging to interact with the guys in the US because of maybe my heavy accent. But having a good command of British English. You know, in our country, Kenya, we learned through the British system. We were colonized by the British. So our language favors us. And that's why when you speak English, somebody who is in the US can understand you if they understand British English. But the American English is a bit more challenging for us people from Africa. So communication, the point was communication is extremely important. Number two, time management. Time management is a skill that is required when you are a virtual assistant. There are some tasks you'll be given. Maybe you are holding a meeting, you are holding a Zoom meeting or a Google Meet meeting or a Skype meeting with your client. You have to ensure that you manage your time. You arrive on time, you arrive in the meetings on time, and you also complete tasks that you are given in time. When you're given something like you have been given a task to do informative research, maybe the client wants to travel to Europe and they want very quick information, maybe in 5 hours or 6 hours, you should be able to conduct that research and give a report even before the deadline. So that is about time management. Then organizational skills. You must also be organized. Organization is something very important. Organization shows that you know what you are doing as a virtual assistant. Then you have to be adaptable and be confidential. Adaptability and confidentiality. At some point, virtual assistant, you can be trusted with confidential information. Maybe a company has information or data, you'll be given passwords. So you have to learn how to be confidential. You don't go exposing the client information on other third parties. For example, you don't go exposing sensitive information about the client to social media or your friends. So those are basic ethics that you have to observe for you to maintain the trust. Because if you ever breach trust by exposing confidential information, it means that you become a risk, and you cannot be entrusted with that work. Once a customer loses trust in you, it becomes difficult to restore that trust. Then at the basic tech literacy, you have to be someone who knows how to use technology. And most of us, I believe, we know how to use technology tools like the mobile phone. We can use a personal computer because most of the tasks require softwares or tools that are installed on the computer. When you are doing something like research and you are supposed to summarize in a well organized document, you need a word processor, you need Microsoft Word, or when you're required to do data entry, you are required to produce leads. You are not going to produce those leads in a table in a Word document. You are supposed to do that work in an Excel program. So you can either choose Microsoft Excel or use Google Sheets to complete that work according to the customer's requirements or expectations. So knowing the future, the skills, I want to talk about the future of virtual assistants as an industry. We are living in a world where there is a rise of AI-powered virtual assistants. So, in response to what is happening, the developments that are happening so fast, it is good to keep yourself updated with these changes. Now, AI is not supposed to be a threat to you. AI is supposed to complement you as a virtual assistant. So don't be scared about AI. Just learn how to coexist or make use of AI tools to become a better AI. So the demand for specialists will also be on the rise. We have niche specialists, as you have seen, or if you have observed in the current social media environment, there's a rise of podcasts. Podcasts are really increasing in so many parts of the world. So there will be demand for podcast VAs. So the sooner you start learning them, the better. Then real estate is also another big area that is going to be on high demand for virtual assistants. So overall, there will be increased opportunities for remote work globally. If you look at what is happening in the United States, it tells you that so many employers will be seeking out for virtual assistants because the US, they want to confine their jobs in their country, but employers find it convenient to work with virtual assistants because they are cost effective. Companies want to cut on costs of their human resources. So virtual assistants will continue to be a lucrative industry for people, and that's why we are focusing on building capacity. The reason why we created Lanova is to help build capacity in Africa as we prepare for the developments that are taking place, as we prepare for meeting the demands in the industries. So I think those are the key areas I wanted to cover. Maybe before I summarize on the assignment, in my introduction, I mentioned that being a bootcamp, projects are extremely important for you to master the concept that we are talking about, for you to become a better virtual assistant, a more competent virtual assistant that someone wants to hire. You must be ready to do projects. And this course has been designed with specific projects that will help you master the skills of a virtual assistant. So maybe before I summarize with the assignment, I will take one question or two from you guys before I conclude. So anyone with a question? Okay, so we will proceed. I will proceed to the assignment for this week or this first lesson. So I'll be posting the video just for those who are not able to attend the meeting. I will post the recording of this lesson so that those who are not able to attend can follow with the proceedings. So the first assignment will be you to choose, I will require you to choose any of the following. Choose an administrative VA, social media VA, technical VA, e-commerce VA, or executive VA. Then I want you to describe, maybe in one sentence or two, describe a fictional character that you choose to work with as a VA. So after choosing any of these types of virtual assistant, maybe you can describe, maybe if it's, let me give an example of a social media VA. You want to choose a fictional character, maybe a popular podcast host, and maybe say something about him. Is he male? Is he female? How many subscribers does he have? Okay. Then task number 2 will be to create a task plan. A task plan, I will be looking for 3 weekly tasks that you would perform as a VA for that particular fictional client. Then number 3, the last task will be to describe the value. I want you to describe in 150 words the value you will be providing towards that client. In short, what benefit will your work as a virtual assistant be towards that particular client? So once you complete the assignment, you will send to me via email so that I can assess whether you have understood the key concepts in the first lesson on virtual assistant. So in summary, I want to wrap it up. We've talked about virtual assistant. We defined the concept of virtual assistant. We have looked at the tasks of a virtual assistant. We've covered the different types of virtual assistants, starting from the administrative virtual assistants, technical virtual assistants, creative virtual assistant, social media virtual assistant, e-commerce virtual assistants, executive virtual assistants. Then we have covered the essential skills that a virtual assistant requires, starting from communication, time management, organization, adaptability, and basic literacy skills. So I think we've spent around 41 minutes on this introductory session. I don't want to go into so much details, considering that this is the first lesson. In the next lesson, maybe we'll be covering 1 hour or 1.5 hours, because we'll be diving deeper into the details, and we'll be doing hands-on skills. I will be demonstrating. For example, when you talk about communication, I will be demonstrating to you how to do inbox management, how to schedule meetings, how to book or organize meetings on using different tools like Google Meet, Zoom. We will be discussing more how to share files, how to do social media, and so on. Yeah, so that sums up for our lesson today. And I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for making it to today's meeting. You have started an important step that will change your life. From this training, we have people who will change their lives through these virtual assistants. We have also those ones that will drop out. For this first meeting, we have around 30 guys, and we are expecting more guys to be joining us as we proceed. And I think that is it from my end. Otherwise, I wish you a good evening, and I will see you in the next meeting. I think we'll be on Wednesday. So asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki.